Okay, class 4. Today we'll do English literature. Chapter 1. Take out Pippi Longstockings. Okay, now let's start the lesson. Pippi Longstocking. When Pippi entered Villa Villecula for the first time, it was a lovely summer evening. The children next door, Tommy and Annika, were not at home. They had gone to visit their grandmother for a week, and so they had no idea that anybody had moved into the house next door. On the first day after they came home again, they stood by the gate looking out onto the street. They had no idea that there actually was a playmate so near. They were standing there considering what they should do and wondering whether anything exciting was likely to happen or whether it was going to be one of those dull days when they couldn't think of anything to play. And just then the gate of Villa Villecula opened and a little girl stepped out. She was the most remarkable girl Tommy and Annika had ever seen. She was Miss Pippi Longstocking out for her morning walk. This is the way she looked. Her hair, the color of a carrot, was braided into two tight braids that stuck straight out. Her nose was the shape of a very small potato and was dotted all over with freckles. It must be admitted that the mouth under this nose was a very wide one, with strong white teeth. Her dress was rather unusual. Pippi had made it herself. She had meant it to be blue, but there wasn't quite enough blue cloth, so Pippi had sewed little red pieces on it here and there. On her long thin legs she wore a pair of long stockings, one brown and the other black. She had on a pair of black shoes that were exactly twice as long as her feet. Her father had bought these shoes for her in South America, so that Pippi would have something to grow into. She loved them and she never wanted to wear any others. But the thing that made Tommy and Annika open their eyes widest of all was the monkey sitting on the strange girl's shoulder. It was a little monkey dressed in blue pants, a yellow jacket, and a white straw hat. Pippi walked along the street with one foot on the sidewalk and the other in the gutter. Tommy and Annika watched as long as they could see her. In a little while she came back and now she was walking backward. That was because she didn't want to turn around to get home. When she reached Tommy's and Annika's gate, she stopped. The children looked at each other in silence. At last, Tommy spoke. "Why did you walk backward?" "Why did I walk backwards?" said Pippi. "Isn't this a free country? Can't a person walk any way she wants to? Let me tell you that in Egypt everybody walks that way, and nobody thinks it's the least bit strange." "How do you know?" asked Tommy. "You have never been to Egypt, have you?" "I have never been to Egypt. Indeed I have. That's one thing you can be sure of. I have been all over the world and seen many things stranger than people walking backward. I wonder what you would have said if I had come along walking on my hands the way they do in farthest India." "Now you must be lying," said Tommy. Pippi thought for a moment. "You are right," she said sadly. "I am lying." "It is wicked to lie," said Annika, who had at last gathered up enough courage to speak. "Yes, it is very wicked to lie," said Pippi, even more sadly. "But I forget it now and then. And how can you expect a little child like me to always tell the truth when my mother is an angel and my father is king of a cannibal island, and I have sailed on the ocean all my life?" Then Pippi smiled and continued, "And let me tell you that in the Congo there is not a single person who tells the truth. They lie all day long, being at 7 in the morning, and keep on until sundown. So if I should happen to lie now and then, you must try to excuse me. and to remember that it is only because I stayed in the Congo a little too long. We can be friends anyway, can't we? Oh, sure, said Tommy, and realized suddenly that this was not going to be one of those dull days. By the way, would you come and have breakfast with me? Asked Pippi. Why not? Said Tommy. Come on, let's go. Oh, yes, let's, said Annika. But first I must introduce you to Mr. Nilsson, said Pippi, and the little monkey took off his cap and bowed politely. Now look at the words and try to remember the meanings. Apart from the words given in the book, with the help of a dictionary or Google Assistant, find out the meaning of the following words and make sentences of your own. Now let's move to comprehension. Question number A. What was the name of Pippi's house? Answer. Pippi's house was called Villa Villecula. Question B. What were Tommy and Annika thinking while standing by their gate? Answer. They were standing there thinking what they should do and whether that day was likely to be exciting or like the regular dull days. Question number C. What was unusual about how Pippi went on her morning walk? Answer. Pippi walked along the street with one foot on the sidewalk and the other in the gutter. She went a little ahead and then came back, walking backwards. Question number D. Which three countries did Pippi say she has been to? Answer. The three countries which Pippi said she had been to were Egypt, Congo, and India. Question number E. Where were Pippi's parents? Answer. Pippi's parents were in Congo. Question number F. What did Annika say to Pippi about lying? Answer. Annika said that it was wicked to tell a lie. Question number G. What did Tommy realize when he was speaking to Pippi? Answer. Tommy realized that now it was no longer going to be the regular dull days while speaking to Pippi. Question number H. What was the name of Pippi's pet monkey? Answer. Pippi's pet monkey's name was Mr. Nilsson. Question number I. How do we know that the pet monkey was polite? Answer. When Pippi introduced the monkey to her new friends, it took off its hat and bowed politely. Question number 2. Do the true and false on your own in your exercise books. Question number 3. Do it also on your own in your exercise books. Articles. Add the necessary articles in the blank spaces. Note that not all the blanks require an article. Next, using who or which, join the sentences using who or which. You have to do it on your own and do it in your exercise book. Now in the composition, imagine that you are Tommy and Annika and you have to write a letter to a friend to tell them all about your new neighbor, Pippi Longstocking. You can use the details from the story such as the description of Pippi in paragraph 3 to help you. Use the layout for the letter given below. So the layout you can understand, you have to write the address, your address. Now address your friend with dear. Suppose your friend's name is Ankit, dear Ankit. And then write the body.